National Bureau of Statistics. Brent climbs ahead of OPEC Plus oil production decision. Asia market mix as investors assess key Japan economic data releases. On the program today, we shall be looking at the economic implications of the approved 2024-2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Musa Bakar, your guide. Now let's begin the program by telling you that the National Economic Council has adopted a report to engage sub-national governments to sign pact of renewed commitment to health sector renewal program towards advancing the health sector. The State House correspondent Abdul Rahman Jibrila reports that the Council also deliberates on reports presented on agriculture, economy and human capital development.
Presentation is just a robust compact that looked at all the problems and challenges of health sector, from financing, from the human capital, from the supervisory point of view, and even from the leadership level.
There is available in the first phase, and I think it's also counting about $530 million. And this, in a sense, is supposed to make cluster agricultural production. So we have, Council has also approved the accelerated transmission of the SAPZ official documents to funders by the Federal Ministry of Finance, and also grant of waiver from the Federal Ministry of Finance.
This is an opportunity to also introduce natural catastrophe insurance to Nigeria, with the likelihood that the federal government will provide the support to ensure that we have a natural catastrophe insurance. The Vice President advised states to utilize the opportunity provided by African Insurance in helping to deliver insurance to small-scale holder participants in the agricultural space.
And now to House of Assembly, the House of Representatives says more rail lines are needed across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to facilitate movement of people, goods and services. This follows the adoption of a motion for the extension of existing rail lines during Thursday's plenary.
All the federal government to extend the rail line link to the south-south and the southeast, north-central, as well as the northwest geopolitical zone of Nigeria. If Northeast is cut off, it will have a very serious impediment.
A legislation that will enable Nigeria tap into the billion-dollar global bitumen market has passed second reading at the Senate. The bill seeks the establishment of Bitumen Development Commission of Nigeria, as the country ranks second among those with large deposit of the raw material used in road construction and building industry.
In the Act, because we have to prevent unconventional sources taking advantage of a recharge in hand application over competitors. In the specific case of Ondo State, as reported by the World Bank, $42 billion bitumen is deposited
Bitumen is critical not only to the road network, but to the economic growth of Nigeria.
And now the Senate has approved the 2024-2026 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework, MTEF, and Fiscal Strategy paper. This was a sequel to the presentation and adoption of a report by its Committee on Finance at plenary on Wednesday. The Senate also approved a proposal to scrap all tax waivers not directly linked to non-governmental, non-profit organizations.
In 2024 alone, they have provided for 2.7 trillion waivers.
A lot of issues have been raised here that we will continue to work on, even after this passage. We should really commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the initiative so far. And so there's a lot of hope for Nigerians.
And now to our discussion segment, to speak on the implications of the... okay. Well, I've been told that my guest is not ready yet. Well, now moving on. Mandate of the government of renewed hope of President Bola Tinubu is to lay a solid governance structure and leave enduring legacies for the good of Nigerians. This assurance was re-emphasized during a familiarization visit by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, to his counterpart, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake.
You know, we are tackling the issue of security around the mining operation areas. We are putting in place incentives even to foreign investors and local investors. Foreign investors can now repatriate their profit. We have secured that, you know, after paying the royalties, the necessary royalties, taxes to government and all of that, just to encourage them. We are even creating, which I discussed with the president, the possibility of granting waivers to prospective investors who want to import heavy duty equipment.
I want to also participate in drawing attention of Nigerians to this very critical sector of our economy. It is important that all of us recognize that and to cooperate and also join him in pushing Mr. President's vision in this direction.
Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemiason, has encouraged civil servants to embrace other sources of income within the agri value chain for a better economic life. This was coming at the presentation of a revolving loan to some beneficiaries of the second batch of the Agripreneurship Startup Scheme for 2023.
We also want to enable those retirees to be able to cope with life after service, while at the same time contributing to development of other sectors of the economy. And by implication, we hope that the GDP, gross domestic product of the country will improve.
Confirmed income of the civil servant. He has an income, and also it is allowed by the Constitution and by law that they can go into agribusiness. So this actually propelled us to do this partnership, Head of Civil Service and the PSI, on how to get them trained and how to access our loans.
That this one is just a normal, come and talk and they go, nothing happens. But here we are today. She was able to meet up, and then we were able to get our checks.
The House of Representatives has urged the federal government to boost yam production and guarantee food security in the country through targeted incentives to farmers from the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Bank of Agriculture, and other financial institutions, adopting a motion by Representative Regina Kume from Benue State. The House also called for a review of export policies by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to boost food production and exports for job and wealth creation.
Also aware that the exportation of yam is highly recommended to boost Nigeria's earning capacity, its external reserves, and its value chain. Unfortunately, exportation is not a thriving business option in Nigeria due to bottlenecks created by regulatory agencies. Worried that those engaged in the business of exportation do so outside the purview of the agencies responsible for promoting the trade by employing the services of local packaging producers or moving their operations to more business-friendly economies like Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and Benin Republic.
This motion is referred to the Committee on Commerce.
Let's now move to currency. Let's now see how much is the Naira exchanging for other currencies. Now, the federal government tells the global investing community, if you're not yet in Nigeria, you are not in Africa. And the promise of return on investment in addition to repatriation of profits is the bait for the Mexican Business Council for Foreign Trade, Investment and Technology, who are in Nigeria for trade exchange, exporting Nigeria's agro products, fertilizer and rubber for the global automotive industry in exchange for technical support and expertise for value addition of Nigerian products before exports are some of the issues on the table.
To be willing to see if that value-added export is upskilled in the country and we can have more finished product or semi-finished product, exported from Nigeria. Outside agriculture, I think we also have, we're growing our cotton export basket, and we can look at the opportunities there, with the Mexican authorities to see how we can, partner to revive the country's cotton industry and upscale production to meet international demand.
Human capital has seen the opportunity in the free trade and has reshaped our mindset.
Global attention is on big data as Nigeria joins the rest of Africa to commemorate Africa Statistics Day 2023 with a call for collaboration in developing accurate statistics for the continent. Muplanda Cock reports that the National Bureau of Statistics is leading the campaign on modernizing data ecosystem to accelerate the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area and the role of official statistics and big data in the economic transformation and sustainable development of Africa.
In the context of the AFCFTA, where markets are dynamically evolving, the ability to access up-to-the-minute information is invaluable.
A call to renew our commitment to collaboration in the face of the complex and multifaceted challenges that lie ahead of us. The challenges confronting us, whether in the realms of economic trade or sustainable development, are intricate and interconnected.
Now, the need to regulate environmental issues in ECOWAS member countries, especially plastic waste, dominated discussion. The Joint Committee on Environment, Agriculture and Water Resources of the ECOWAS Parliament, Mohamed Rabiu Ali, reports that the second ordinary session of the 5th legislature holding in Abuja agrees for member countries to harmonize regulatory process in this direction.
Must be made to work. My brother spoke about Rwanda. If you go to Rwanda, you don't need to be told that you cannot come with plastic. The thing is simple, it's not there. Nobody, even if you buy 1 million things in the shop, they cannot put it in a plastic for you.
With the support of a major project we have with the USAID, which is supporting us for about $45 million. What we at ECOWAS have done to date is to ask member states to propose
developments in several advanced countries that we so-call today. We are heavily dependent on this dirty fuel called coal. They used it to develop their own economy. And when it is time for Africa to use the same factor to develop her economy, they come with a regulation to tell you it is dirty fuel. You don't have.
And now to energy market, Brent crude futures rose in Asia trade on Friday, reversing losses in the previous session as traders speculated on whether OPEC Plus will come to an agreement on further production cuts. Brent crude futures gained 29 cents to $81.71 after settling 0.7% in the previous session. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude slide 38 cents to $76.72. There was no settlement for WTI on Thursday as it was a U.S. public holiday. Let's now see how commodities are trading around the world. International Air Transport Association has put the total amount of foreign airlines funds blocked in Africa at $168 billion, revealing this at the 55th Africa Airlines Association annual general meeting in Uganda. The association regional vice president Africa and Middle East, Camille Alawadi, listed Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia and Zimbabwe among the African countries that have allowed the foreign carriers to repatriate a significant portion of the block funds to their home countries since 2018. Alawadi, who identified the issue of the block funds as the second major issue plaguing Africa, however, said the $1.68 billion indebtedness of Africa to the foreign airlines form part of the total $236 billion owed the airlines globally. Well, it's now time to head to the capital market, and Bossade is standing by with stories on the global stock update.
Thank you very much, Musa. Hello and welcome to the Global Market Review. Now, European stocks closed mixed Friday as investors remained cautious. DAX rose 0.15%, CAC 40 of France 0.16%, while FTSE dipped 0.19%. Asia markets were mixed as investors accessed key economic data from Japan on Friday. The world's third largest economy saw its core inflation rate rise to 2.9% in October, higher than 2.8% seen in the month before. The headline inflation rate came in at 3.3%, accelerating from the 3% seen in September. The Nikkei topped 0.52% at 33,625.55, while the Shanghai dipped 0.68% at 3,040.97, and the Hang Seng Index followed suit as 1.96% across 17,559.42. U.S. futures tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose slightly Friday ahead of a shortened trading session as the major averages aimed for a 4-week winning streak. The Dow Jones Industrial Average topped 0.25%, S&P 500 0.09%, while the Nasdaq Composite is at 0.05% low. In Africa, South Africa, Namibia and Ghana closed positive, while Tunisia dipped at 0.21% across 8,549.02. That's the market review at the end of today's trading. We'll come back with more details next week. Over to you, Musa.
Thank you, Bossade. What a mixed reaction there. Well, this is where we end this edition of Business Express. We value your feedback, so keep the comments, observations, and suggestions coming. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on the NTA's channel. Business Express returns Monday at 3 p.m. I'm Musa Bakar. Thanks for your company.